Welcome. Hello.
Hi,
Hello
Jack.
to Matt from Sacred Heart in Fitzroy. And we're here today just to have a quick talk to you about Blue Earth within Sacred Heart.
Mhm.
How did you first hear about Blue Earth?
So I've been involved with Blue Earth for probably about 11 years now. So at my previous school out in the west, we took on a Blue Earth program through Brimbank City Council. They had a sort of a funding opportunity. So that was my first introduction to Blue Earth, I think in 2008. And then we continued to use Blue Earth at that school for a number of years. And then when I came over to Sacred Heart, and I could see perhaps some of the issues that were present amongst the children, in particular, and perhaps the way they were able to manage their impulsivity, the way they were able to manage themselves in games and things like that. I thought, Blue Earth would be a fantastic thing to have here. So we set about investigating how we could do that.
So how long has Blue Earth been here at Sacred Heart?
So I've been here 2 years, and it started in my first year. It's been here 2 years as well. Yeah.
Okay, great. And we, Blue Earth are here fortnightly, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they come every fortnight. We have a session. Yeah.
And works its way through all the year groups, is that right?
So over the 2 years, we've every year level has been exposed to Blue Earth. So last year it was our prep 1s and 2s,
Yeah.
and this year it's been our 3s, 4s, 5s and 6s. So over the 2 year period, everyone's had an opportunity to be exposed to it.
Yeah, and do you think that that's a good model, that it's over a good period of time, like 12 months to 2 years, that the kids are exposed to it?
Yeah, well, it's really interesting because I think any learning that's reinforced over a period of time is obviously going to sink in a lot more and become just like a fairly intrinsic part of day-to-day life at a school, as opposed to like sort of one-off programs that kind of like can be fun, but like there's not necessarily a lot of medium to long-term learning that comes out of them. So I'd say that it's definitely beneficial to have it over a longer period of time. Yeah.
Okay, great. And when we Blue Earth first came here and where we are today, what's probably the biggest thing that you've noticed?
Well, there's a couple of things that I've noticed. I think there's certainly a much lower incidence of children in conflict through games. That was something that sort of was happening fairly regularly on a daily basis. Now, it's certainly, it hasn't been eradicated completely, but it's certainly dissipated significantly. Yeah.
So their coping skills and how they deal with conflict is better?
Yeah, and the way that they manage themselves in games, and a lot of the time now, like I've seen them, they actually are able to umpire their own games now, which is really
Great.
Impressive as well. Like that's something that they certainly weren't able to do 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other aspect of it is the mindfulness factor, and as a result of that, a lot of our children now, when they sort of get into like a headspace where they're perhaps having difficulty self-regulating, they're able to calm down a lot quicker than what they used to be able to.
Right.
And that, I'd put that down a lot to the breathing patterns and exercises that they've been taught as a part of Blue Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And often when a young person is perhaps having difficulty with that self-regulation, we're able to sort of remind them about what they've been taught in Blue Earth, and they're able to sort of draw upon that. And I guess the next step now is for the young people themselves to remember that without maybe us having to remind them. But certainly, there are some fairly traumatised kids within the school population, and we saw instances last year where sometimes a child might take an hour to sort of calm down. Whereas now it's very rarely longer than a few minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And as much as, Sacred Heart has a very unique situation here with the setup and the community that you're within, how does what the kids learn here at Blue Earth within Sacred Heart expand out to the community? How does that benefit them, I guess, once they leave here, once they leave the gates of Sacred Heart?
Well, I think more and more we're trying to get our young people engaged in organised sport weekends or weeknights. And we're having some success there. Like hardly any of our children were playing organised sport a couple of years ago, but now there's certainly a greater number than what there were.
Yeah.
So I think having those sort of positive experiences of sport at school through Blue Earth, it encourages them to join those sort of organisations and take it a bit further and develop their skills a bit further. So it's probably one. I'd say probably just in their general play in other sort of activities around the community, so that maybe, not necessarily organised sport, but like it might be our Cubbies program, or it might be our after school sport program with the police that runs once a week, so just in the way that they're able to sort of manage themselves in those sort of situations.
Helping hoops.
So helping hoops is another one that they do on a weekly basis. So in lots of ways helping hoops has a lot of philosophies similar to Blue Earth as well.
Yeah.
In and around sort of the other important components of what sport brings.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And I guess, how have the pupils engaged? How do you think that they've engaged with the Blue Earth program? And I know Sam's here. He's the main lead coach. I don't know whether you've had any other coaches through the school, but how do you think overall they embrace it?
The kids love it. They love working with Sam. Sam's been here the whole time that we've had Blue Earth here. So the kids have developed a real relationship with him. He's very, very good with the kids, and they really look forward to having Blue Earth every second Wednesday. There's no, they often ask, is it Blue Earth week? Because they know it's every second week. So
That's great.
No, they really enjoy it. Yeah.
And as a principal, how do you measure it? Like when you're looking at the program, what are the key things that you're looking at in your mind as a measure?
I think there's a couple of things. One is the for kids who live in high-rise flats, it's just the opportunity to be active. And I think, Blue Earth is a great way. Like the kids are on the move the whole time. They're constantly, and that's not necessarily. It's not like it's not a boot camp, but like they're actively involved. And whether it's through, aerobic exercise, or whether it's through hand-eye coordination activities, the types of things that, traditionally young people who grow up in the sorts of living environments that these young people grow up in, they might be deficient in. And so that's one aspect of it, it's that physical side, but then the other side of it is the emotional side. So for me, I just have to look at our, behavioural data and see the decline in significant issues that we experience, and Blue Earth is part of a whole suite of strategies and programs that we put in place to try and address the concerns that we had. So we're really, really pleased with the results.
So when you're talking to other principals of schools that perhaps know nothing about the program, what do you say to them?
Well, the Blue Earth is not a sport program. I think that's number one. Like sport is just a vehicle for addressing those emotional sort of needs. So I see it as a well-being program that uses sport to assist. If I'm selling it to other principals, I think I'd just be saying, if you've got young people who perhaps have a little bit of trouble, managing their emotions, self-regulating under pressure, but they love sport, then you've got a pretty good combination. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
And Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too.